Okay, y'all, welcome back. The beginning there, that was my therapist, Chelsea. Um, she is literally the best therapist ever. Love, 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 love going to see her. I've been with her for like 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years now. So, we're doing our good little. Well, we're going on. It'll be 3 years at the end of this year, so we're doing really good. But anyways, like the title of this video says, today we are talking about holding space for multiple feelings, emotions. Um something that I've been experiencing and within like some stuff that I've been going throughout these couple of years. Um I definitely I've had to learn to understand that it is okay to feel conflicting feelings all at once. So like in some of my experiences, like I'll be like, I'm really mad, but like I'm grateful, And it's like essentially like you would think that like, no, I can't be mad and be grateful at the same time. Like, or how dare you be grateful but you still be mad? And I think that is like something that I had to normalize within myself because one, I think we shame a lot of our negative emotions to the point where we don't allow ourselves to feel them. Um and that's not good. If you go and watch my video about avoiding the pain, I kind of touch on this a little bit, but like negative emotions are absolutely normal. They're a part of the human experience, and we have to hold space for them just like the positive ones. One thing I cannot stand, and I can only say this because, I was this person before. One thing about me, please know this. I am very honest. I was a person that fell into the trap of toxic positivity, and it's just unrealistic. Like, life, bad things happen in life, and it is absolutely okay for you to be sad that something bad has happened in your life. Like, of course, we know, like I said, bad things happen in life, but it's okay for you to feel the feelings that are associated with that. Um, and another thing is, for me specifically, like something that I was experiencing, I was like, there was something bad that happened within the day, but I'm not gonna lie. I was telling Chelsea, I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I still had a pretty great day that day. And I thoroughly enjoyed myself despite something. It was pretty significant, the bad thing that happened, but I still had a great day. And that's having that realization is really new for me because, you know, as someone who deals with like anxiety and depression, like sometimes when bad things happen for me, like it can put me in a rut. And this was like a situation that I feel like definitely had potential to put me in a rut, but I just kind of decided to take my power back in that and kind of change the way I viewed it, or just not allow it to have so much power over like my entire outlook on whatever. But yeah, back to holding conflicting feelings. I told Chelsea like I'm happy. I'm also sad though. But like, and I'm a little bit nervous. And one thing that I've realized is in having these multiple feelings, when you allow yourself to experience these multiple feelings, you're allowing different parts of yourself to be validated. Um, for me, like I said, when it gets to that toxic positivity, when you're only validating happier moments and happy and you're only focused on positive, 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 when you experience things that are not as positive or not positive at all, they're just downright negative experiences, which are normal. But when you experience those experiences, you either teach yourself to numb yourself to them, or you just feel them even heavier because the weight of them has just become like unbearable because you kind of neglected that bad things can happen. And rather than just accepting that, or bad experiences can happen, bad feelings can come up, rather than just accepting that and holding space for that, you've now like tried to trick yourself into thinking, but everything's okay. And like, essentially that is true, but it's okay for things to not be okay as well. And I say this to you guys, but I'm also saying this to myself. Like, this is something that I definitely tell myself all the time. Like, okay, girl, let's stop. Let's think. Like, it is perfectly okay that you do not have the situation all figured out. You are not going to have everything figured out. It's okay to like just sit in that confusion for a little bit. I think sometimes like we think that like, if I feel this way, then I must do this. But it gets hard when you have multiple feelings coming up, because now it's like, oh wait, I don't really know what to do because I have conflicting feelings. And one thing that I am learning and processing through is having those feelings. This is a raw moment right here. Like, I'm crying. But it was just because like I was talking about having conflicting feelings. Like, I was talking about a moment that like I genuinely felt sad in a moment, but like it happened right after something very great happened that I also wanted to hold space for, because I really appreciated that experience as well. And but I also did want to honor the fact that like I was sad. Like, what I experienced did make me sad. What I came across did make me sad. But like what happened prior to that made me very happy as well. And this is just like an honest representation of like how this comes up for me. And for a long time, like I kind of struggled with this because I feel like I was like the crazy lady who just had so many emotions and was all over the place. But as I work on reframing my thinking and reframing how I view myself and stuff like that, I realize that like these are just all parts of myself, and I don't want to get to a point in my life where I'm denying anything a part of my experience. Like, one thing about me, I'm an open book, obviously. Like, I'm on the internet talking about my feelings, my personal feelings. I have several different platforms that I talk about several different aspects of myself on. I have a Substack page where, I mean, if you're interested, like I have a few writing pieces that I've written over there where I talk about things like love and just like some of my experiences and friendships and just navigating life as a 20-year-old. But also, like I have this space where, it's kind of fun, but it's kind of boring too sometimes. Like, this is where I kind of allow my, the visual of myself kind of be seen. Like, all my platforms, the basis of all my platforms is like an intentional effort to allow myself to be seen. And, sometimes it's pretty, sometimes it's not. And sometimes, I can be cookie cutter perfection. And then sometimes it's like really sloppy, but like, that's just real. Like, sometimes I have the energy for it. Sometimes I don't. But yeah, anyways, so in all of these things, and to tie it together, what I was saying, basically, like, as a person, like as a dynamic person, we're all dynamic individuals. Like, we all have different feelings and stuff like that. And, sometimes after years of conditioning, like, you condition yourself to not allow yourself to feel things. You condition yourself to not allow yourself to experience, accept all of your experiences. A big part of what got me to this point mentally is just that I had to make peace with a lot of my broken pieces, and I had to very much so radically love myself. I love every aspect of myself. I love every stretch mark, every roll, every hair, every scratch, scrape, everything. I love every aspect of myself. am I like ready? Is it something that I want to flaunt? Like, do I want to flaunt that I have dark marks? No, but it's not the end of the world. Like, I still think I'm a beautiful woman, even though I have dark marks when I don't have makeup on. Like, I don't have a problem anymore being my true self. And, a part of having the ability to hold space for all of your feelings is, also doing that. Like, radically accepting yourself, like in the most like I don't I almost want to say daunting way. Like, even my completely toxic behaviors, I had to love those, because what I realized was that like a lot of my toxic behaviors were a direct result of like some of the trauma that I experienced as a child. And I was not going to be able to move on from that unless I gave space for it and like really got to the root of it, because you can't really do the work unless you're willing to feel the process through it. And I've gone through different phases throughout my time in therapy of like feeling things and not allowing myself to feel things and wanting to give up and just questioning if this is even for me, like questioning if I even need it anymore. Like, and then I'll have like a session or something will happen. And I'll be like, oh no, I need to book a session. So, but I hold space for all of that. I hold space for being confused. I hold space for understanding that like nobody really has it figured out, Um, but the people that I admire, that that I think are great representations of like what it means to like be your whole self, are people that are just genuinely unapologetically themselves, no matter how messy, no matter how quirky, no matter how different. They just allow themselves to just be that. I've always admired people like that. It's something that I've always wanted for myself, and I feel like I'm getting to that point where I'm like, as I said, like through like work of like radical self-acceptance, I've gotten myself to a point where I feel like comfortable walking in any room that I walk into. And it's just because I hold space for like every part of me. If I'm in a situation where, I don't feel like this is going to end well for me. And I check in with myself. I could be better about it, but it's obviously something that I'm working on. But I check in with myself like, hey, maybe this is not where I need to be right now. We're going to go ahead and, appreciate the experience for what it was, and we're going to go. And that's that. And another thing I really highly, highly, highly suggest is journaling. I have so many journals, and when I read it, I'm like, ooh, like if my journal ever got published, y'all, first of all, there's no shame in my game. So, hey, but if it ever got published, y'all would be like, this lady is insane. But it's just real. Like, some days I'm happy. Like, I can be writing about a moment that I'm so happy about, and I'm just so happy. And then as I'm writing and I start thinking, I'm like, nah, actually, I don't think I'm as happy about that. And I will write about that like in real time. Like, I write through my feelings. I write through my experiences. I feel like it helps me understand myself a lot more. It helps me understand what I'm experiencing a lot more. And it also helps me when it comes to reflecting, because sometimes like my vision kind of will get tainted after, if it's like a relationship, for example, if something happens and like in a friendship, and it's something that really shakes me to the core, and then I look back at my journal and I'm like, oh, well, this also happened. And because sometimes I forget, but yeah, it's just a way for me to like really connect to myself. Like, for example, another example, at the beginning of this year, I actually went back to my journal that I started when I started therapy. And the first page I wrote about what I wanted to accomplish in therapy. And the fact that like everything on the list that I wanted to accomplish they're all like things within myself that I wanted to, you know, be on the other side of. But like to know that I did those things, and I felt like, wow, I'm actually embodying the things that like I said I wanted to work on. Like, hey, this might actually be working. That was a very validating experience. But yeah, so I'm not gonna ramble anymore, but if you have stayed to the end of this video, I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you allow yourself to hold space for all parts of yourself. Don't deny any aspect of yourself, no matter how pretty, ugly, whatever. Who cares what other people think? Like, this is your life, you know, and you're the one who has to wake up every day and live in your skin. Love it, enjoy it, honor your emotions, honor your feelings, give space to them. And, you know, that's just giving space to different parts of yourself. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.